Two systems: power over others, draconian, system, and power over self, natural human, system. Power over self: people relate as equals. Power over self: people cooperate, respect each other and enjoy each other's company. Power over others: people relate as inequals. One is inferior, the other is superior. Power over others: people compete in their relationships for dominance, don't respect each other although they say they do, and they don't enjoy relating to someone they think they have to position themselves under to relate to, or who they have to condescend to in order to relate to. Power over others: people see their dominators as someone they have to pussyfoot around in fear and anxiousness, or they see their inferiors as someone who's a nuisance they have to bother with. Power over others: people are phony and lie in their relationships with self and others. Power over others: people often give mixed messages. I like you, I don't like you, I need you, don't leave me. Authentic power over self: people don't appreciate having to deal with power over others people because they know they will have to take a position they don't want to in order to relate to them. Authentic people don't want to lie in their relationships. They can see right through the power over others person and what they're trying to pull over on them. Often their honesty hurts the power over others person. Power over others behavior looks like talking too much, trying to draw another person into a conversation but blasting a wall of words at them. Disrespecting others' boundaries. Fancying yourself so superior all your friends want to know you. Not listening to what others ask of you because you're trying to get your way and dominate them. Thinking their boundaries don't apply to you because you're special. They have relationships built upon lies. Inferior power over others: people think they have to beg and grovel to get attention, but the authentic person sees it as the manipulation that it truly is. Inferior power over others: people will stalk, harass, and otherwise not leave the authentic person to do their work. Their need for attention smacks of energy vampiring. Authentic people don't like having their asses kissed. Superior power over others: people think they have rights nobody else does, why should they be expected to comply with the rules? Assuming from the get-go that you're best friends. Telling the person all your most intimate thoughts and life occurrences. This is often embarrassing for the authentic person because they don't want to relate to you on that level yet, or maybe never at all. Just assuming you're in with no further scrutinization of your behavior. Skipping the personal disclosure process because you're now in with the person you want to be accepted by. Withholding acceptance from another because you know they want it. Making people guess about you. I don't guess about people. If you're not clear, go play games with someone else. Power over others: people project all their hurt, blame and anger at people. They scapegoat others and blame them for not being what they wanted or being there for them. Superior power over others: people are very controlling. Inferior power over others: people like being controlled because they're not used to showing up in life for themselves. This comes from having been controlled. Authentic people would rather be respected and have loving interactions with other people than put up with flattery. Actions speak louder than words. Inauthentic power over others: people play games. Mind games, physical games, and then they wonder why they feel empty. Power over others: people often are unreliable. They don't come through in relationships because they are all about themselves and meeting their own needs, not others. Power over others: people are self-oriented and fake relationships with others. Their hidden agenda of getting rather than relating is a thin disguise. Power over self: people don't enjoy having to take either position in a relationship, because it often reminds them of the abuse they sustained when they were younger, or their abusers. Having to relate to you with the mindset of their abuser is re-traumatizing for the power over self person. They realize this is a one-way road to hell, and they'll stop it before it gets out of control. Fact is, either of these positions feels like being out of control to the power over self authentic person. They may, as I have, spent a lifetime overcoming the power over self system and eradicating it within themselves. So you're reminding them of it, and your attempts to pull them back into it are not appreciated. Power over others: people, whether superior or inferior, have hidden agendas. They hide the reason they have approached other people for relationship. Power over others. People don't read cues from authentic people. That's because they don't know how to relate honestly in relationships and figure everyone else is the same as them. Which makes another point, figuring everyone else is the same as you are is pretty superior. Power over others. People often position themselves as victims or perpetrators, and position the authentic power over self person as a rescuer or a victim. Power over self. People relate to life assertively. Power over others. People try go dominate and manipulate. Power over self. People get tired to having to set boundaries and say no all the time. Power over others. People use others for ego gratification. Power over self. People don't use people and want to relate to others. They're not coming from an empty hole, they're trying to fill up with others' interaction with them. Power over others. People are a lot of work to deal with. They complicate their life and the lives of others because they're running hidden agendas. People who are authentic are easy to deal with because they have an agenda of cooperation, and don't doubt that cooperating will get their needs met. Power over others. People don't tell others what their agendas are either out of shame or guilt, but they hide agendas because they are trying to do things they know the person would refuse them for. This makes them untrustworthy as well. Power over others. People can be some of the nicest people on earth. You'd have no idea they are as devious as they are because they hide it so well. Power over others. People try to control by giving unwanted advice. They have their noses stuck in your business whether you ask for it or not. This is because they see themselves as superior and they can certainly fix your problems when you can't. Power over others. People act offended when you call them on their shit. They try to fake that they didn't know what they were doing. Power over others. People feel completely justified in doing what they are doing. They see life as being against them. Everything sucks, I'm so unhappy and it's everyone else's fault, all the justifications. These people are basically victims with a victim mentality. They can justify stealing because life has stolen from them, etc., etc. Any flimsy excuse they can think of. These are just some of the things that those in the power over others system are doing. Ivo, when in fact, you all learn to be authentic, there will be no more wondering why you were born, you will be born with purpose. There will be no more wondering who your soul mate is, you will know from a young age. There will be no more wondering about your past, you will know your past. There will be no more wondering about how you can communicate with others from your past, because you will be able to do it. There will be no more channelers, everyone will be a channeler. There will be no more confusion, because everyone will be telepathic. Your hit and miss approach of dealing with other people on this planet will stop. It is because you are not telepathic that you do not understand others and perhaps the pain they are living in. You will cease living in a system that requires you shut down your emotions. You will cease living in a system where you are encouraged to empower yourself at others' expense. Because this is not power. This is fear. You will stop fearing others and stop fearing yourselves. You will become more free to be honest and understand that is the nature of your reality. You will become of service to others because as everyone does this you will stop fearing what your neighbor is doing. Me, I can relate to that. Fearing what my neighbors are up to. Last night I got yelled at for moving my garbage can closer to Buddy's apartment. It's not even close. Apparently I'm doing it to stink up his space. He wants me to put it back in front of my front door. As if he finds it overturned at his front step, then I'd say he could take it personally, but where it is now is just in a neutral space. I think he was short on drugs and needed a fix. Ivo, this will all stop and you will all learn to get along. Me, some of us already know how to get along. I resent people putting me in the position of their rescuer and their victim. They can see I'm not a perpetrator, so they figure I must be there to be taken advantage of. They find out afterwards they were wrong. I like what someone said, either you or Sigrid, Ivo, if you knew that everything your neighbor was doing would benefit you, you'd get along a lot better, wouldn't you? This is a system where everyone works for the greater good. As for channelings, the form will be down till next Sunday. It'll be back up then and you can submit orders and pay as you have been. If you send me an email, you'll be sent the link for the form. I won't take any communication any other way. I don't care if you have my email addresses. Use the form. If it's not up, it's because I'm not taking orders. Thank you.